Hi, Montclair Cougars. Here's another STEAM lesson for my elementary STEAM students during the stay-at-home order for COVID. Hey guys, last week we built our catapults, more of an engineering challenge, but this week I want to get back to the drawing. We're going to do a perspective lesson, okay? Hey, you know when you're a kid and you start drawing, you usually just put all of your items in your drawing right next to each other. Like my son drew this awesome drawing a few years ago of a monster truck and a helicopter and a UFO. Okay? But there's no sense that things in the background are smaller and things closer in are larger, like my hand appears larger. Well, once you start to recognize that and you start to draw to reflect that, you are drawing with perspective, okay? Which was kind of a revolutionary idea for artists. So when you draw with perspective, notice there are vertical lines, straight up and down lines, like these two walls on the cabin. And then there are horizontal lines, like the horizontal lines of the train track here, the cross ties. But all the other lines, you guys, converge and come together at this one point. That's why this is called one-point perspective. And this point is really important in perspective drawing. It's called the vanishing point. So here's an example of one-point perspective drawing in a landscape. Even the tops of the trees come to this one point. Even the meandering stream moves towards that one point. You can also use one-point perspective when drawing an interior drawing. So here's a room. Both of these last two drawings, I drew these while watching excellent videos by Tom at Circle Line Art School. He does a great job explaining it. Once you finish with your diagonal guidelines, which are called orthogonals, you can erase those and start to add in more detail. Okay, so again, remember, things in the distance should be very tiny, but as you get closer, they get bigger and bigger until you finally have things that are larger. Boy, there's water right outside that window. All right, you can also use one-point perspective to draw a cityscape. All right, here's an example of a cityscape. Notice how these doorways are getting smaller and smaller as you go into the distance, okay, until they get so small you can't even hardly see buildings and doorways down there. Think about your light source and add in your shading. But these are examples of one-point perspective which I want you to try this week.